Okay, I would like to make sure it's, where's, this is not on there.
Oh, okay,
I got writing in here. On the first page at least. So,
okay.
yeah.
I saw your daughter the other day.
Oh, yeah, at the game she told me, she said it was Jay.
Yeah.
Boom. I'd like to call to order today's meeting of the State of Nevada Board of Examiners for June 8th, 2021 at 10 a.m. to order. If I could ask the clerk to take a roll, please.
Governor Sisolak,
Here.
Secretary of State Sagaski,
I'm here.
Attorney General Ford.
Here.
Let the record reflect we do have a quorum.
Thank you. This is item number 2. This is the first time set aside for public comment. Anyone wishing to address the board on any item on today's agenda, items on the agenda, please step forward, identify yourself for the record, and comments be limited to 3 minutes. Would anybody like to be in public comment? Call you out. No one in person in Las Vegas. Is there anybody in person in Carson City?
There is not.
Do we have anybody on the phone?
We do not.
Do we have any written public comment?
We do not.
Okay, then we'll close public comment. Item number 2, move on to item number 3, approval of the May 11th, 2021 meeting minutes. Do we have a motion on the minutes?
Move approval.
We have a motion for approval on the minutes. Is there any discussion on that motion? Hearing and seeing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes. Item number 4, request for approval to pay a tort claim pursuant to NRS 41.036.
Good morning. The Office of the Attorney General requests the Board of Examiners to approve a settlement agreement between Calvary Chapel Dayton Valley and the governor in the amount of $175,000 to comply with the consent decree in this case that requires the state of Nevada to pay reasonable attorney fees. And this cost will come out of the tort claim fund. Are there any questions on this item?
None here.
Do we have any questions? Do we have a motion?
Move approval.
We have a motion for approval. Any discussion? Secretary Sagaski, did you have something?
Nope.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Thank you. Motion passes. That passes. Item number 5, request for a recommendation of approval to the Interim Finance Committee for an allocation amount from the contingency account.
Item number 5 is a request for a recommendation to the Interim Finance Committee from the Department of Indigent Defense Services to reallocate the use of $31,500 to cover expenses related to the Davis First State for a court-ordered monitor from unused funding from a weighted caseload study. These funds have already been allocated, and this is just a reallocation. Are there any questions on this item?
No, I don't have any questions. Do we have any questions on this item?
None here.
None.
Move approval.
We have a motion for approval. Any discussion on the motion? Hearing and seeing none. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Item number 6, approval of proposed leases.
There are 3 leases in item number 6 for approval by the board today. Are there any questions on any of these items?
I do not have any questions on leases. And again, Susan, I want to thank you for the briefing that I get. It really eliminates all the questions that I have at the board meeting, so it's very helpful. Thank you. Do we have any questions on this item?
Governor, I'd just like to echo what you said to Susan and her staff. We're very appreciative of the Secretary of State's office. And yes, I know you don't take seconds, but I'll second the AG.
Okay, we got it. Thank you. A motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes. Item number 7, approval of proposed contracts. This is the thick part here. Yeah. Susan, go ahead.
There are 160 contracts in agenda item 7 today for approval by the board. Are there any questions on any of these items?
Again, I mean, I really appreciate you helping me go through all of these and understand it in my briefing. I do not have any questions. Do we have any questions on this item?
No.
Do I have a motion?
Move approval.
We have a motion for approval on this item. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes. Item number 8, approval of proposed master service agreements.
There are 23 master services agreements in agenda item 8 for approval by the board this morning. Are there any questions on any of these items?
I do not have any questions. Do we have any questions on this one?
No. Move approval.
We have a motion for approval. Any discussion on that motion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes. Item number 9, information item, clerk of the board contracts.
There are 60 contracts under the $50,000 threshold that were approved by the clerk between April 20th of 2021 and May 17th, 2021. Are there any questions on any of these items?
I do not have any questions on this. Do you have any questions, Secretary?
None, thank you.
Thank you. This is an information item. Moving on to item number 10. Information item report.
There are 2 informational item reports under this item. The first informational report regarding lands or interest in lands transferred, sold, exchanged, or leased under the Tahoe Basin Act program, as well as a quarterly report on the status of real property or interests in real property transferred under the Lake Tahoe Mitigation Program. This is required pursuant to NRS 321.5954 and Chapter 355 Statutes of Nevada. This report is for the quarter ending March 31st of 2021. There were no acquisitions of land in this quarter, and there were 4 transactions under the Lake Tahoe Mitigation Program, resulting in 573 square feet of restored land coverage and an increase of $14,236 for the Nevada Land Bank. Are there any questions on this item?
None here.
None here.
Okay, moving on to the second report. This is a report on overtime and accrued compensatory leave for the third quarter of fiscal year 2021. This has been summarized into a 3-page summary, so I'm not going to read all of the details, but I will go over some highlights. Overtime pay and accrued compensatory leave account for a total of approximately $16 million, or 5.97% of total pay for this quarter. This is a decrease of 22% from the second quarter of fiscal year 2021. The total overtime for the first 3 quarters of this year is about $51 million, compared to $36.7 million for the same period in fiscal year 2020. The Department of Corrections had the highest amount of overtime and compensatory time at $5.71 million, or 14.4% of base pay, followed by the Department of Health and Human Services at $4.41 million, or 5.81% of base pay, and the Department of Public Safety at $1.9 million, or 8.89% of base pay. For the third quarter, as a percentage of base salary, the Department of Corrections had the highest overtime at 14.4%, followed by the Department of Veteran Services at 14.23%, and the Department of Public Safety at 8.89%. COVID-related overtime and comp time for the quarter is $3 million, and $2.2 million of that is attributed to the Department of Corrections, followed by Health and Human Services at $345,000. Are there any questions on this report?
No, I just want to clarify something that you told me in my briefing, Director, that some of this is reimbursable, correct?
Some of this is reimbursements. For example, the $2.2 million that is attributable to COVID for the Department of Corrections is reimbursable through the coronavirus relief funds. And the total for the fiscal year of overtime and comp time this year that is eligible for reimbursement through the coronavirus relief fund dollars is $12.2 million.
Great, I appreciate that, thank you. Any other questions?
No.
Okay, that was another information item. Moving on to item number 11, public comment. This is the second time set aside for public comment. Anyone wishing to address the board on any item, please step forward, identify yourself for the record, and comments will be limited to 3 minutes. Any of our gallery here in Las Vegas wishing to participate? Sure.
Call on them, Governor.
Should I start? I'll start volunteering people. We have attendees in Las Vegas, but no one wishing to participate. Do we have anyone in Carson City?
We also have attendees, but no one wishes to participate.
You want to call on anybody? No? Okay. Do we have anybody on the phone?
We do not.
Do we have any written public comment?
We do not.
Hearing and seeing none. I will close public comment, move on to item number 12, which is adjournment. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
We have a motion on the floor. All in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor.